Good morning and welcome. We are delighted that you have decided to join us today for our Sunday morning celebration service right here at Unity of Citrus County. We invite you to get settled in. Our service is about to begin in just a few moments. It is our sincere prayer that the music, the meditation, and the message will uplift you and inspire you to become the light of the world that you have come here to be. We invite you to come and visit us in person. We would love to meet you. And we invite you to also visit our website at www.unityofcitrus.org. Have a blessed day.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu es l'image de Dieu.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu es l'image de l'amour.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Tu sei la luce di Dio.
I hold you in my heart.
Tu sei il volto dell'amore.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God.
Eres la luz de Dios.
I hold you in my heart.
Eres la cara del amor.
You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 La luce di Dio. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. L'image de Dieu. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. La luz de Dios. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the
I just love that song, don't you? You are the face of God, each and every one of you, a radiant expression of that divine love that holds us together, no matter what is happening in our lives. So welcome this morning, each and every one of you. Lori, it's so good to see you here. So glad you're here, Nancy and Candy. I mean, there's so many of you that are back. Thank you for being here with us today. Today is a special service that I would like to dedicate to John Coco. So I would like us to remember him in our hearts with much love and to know that we are supporting and loving Miss Helen with all of our heart. We are here for you. You are family. We are your family. And so let us remember that as we go through this service. You'll have an opportunity to see her later and talk with her later. And I'm so grateful that she's here with us today. So before we begin, is there anyone here visiting for the very first time? Oh, it's just our little Unity family. I'm so glad. Well, we're all together again, and that is good. Would you turn to your neighbor and say hello? Hello, neighbor. And now if you would just turn around and say hello to our virtual family. Good morning. Bless you. Thank you for being with us this morning. One of the things that I love about coming here, that I love about this place, is that we truly are a loving, accepting, and healing community. And we are doing and uplifting our vision and mission
with so much care and compassion and kindness. And that's a beautiful thing in the world that we're living in today, isn't it? That we can do this together. So I'm going to invite you to settle in so that we can open up in prayer and set the intention for the service this morning. And I invite you to, where you are, to get as comfortable as you can and just take a deep breath with me. And allow that breath to be the invitation to bring you to this now moment. So much love in this room. So much caring and compassion. The face of God is showing up in each and every one. That loving kindness that lives in our heart. And the peace that surpasses all understanding is filling every crevice of this place, touching every heart. We are so grateful for the eternal truth of knowing that where we are, God is. And that we can say, God is, I am. Nothing will ever separate us. Not life, not death, nothing. We're always one with the eternal divine, pure essence of love. As we move into our time together, we're going to keep our hearts and invite our hearts to be open and receptive, and our mind quiet and peaceful, also open and receptive, that we may hear what Spirit would have for us today, and that we will walk away with greater love in our heart, with greater connections as a family, with a deep sense of knowing that no matter what occurs in our lives, we have all that we need to help us through it. So thank you, God, for this beautiful day, for this beautiful sanctuary, for the opportunity to hold each other in love, to know a truth that transcends anything in this realm. And so we are ready. We're ready to receive and fill our cup so that we may go back out into the world and pour it out, and it brings the healing that it needs. So thank you, God. Thank you to each of you for showing up as the face of God. And so it is. Would you say with me the affirmation of oneness? There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God the good, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, right here, right now, God. And as we get ready for our meditation, Gary was going to read us the daily word as we prepare our hearts. Yes.
Good morning. The daily word for today, and and it should be every day. Pray for others. Pray for others. And the affirmation today is, in love and faith, I pray with you. Let's say that together. In love and faith, I pray with you. I am honored to pray with others, and I am grateful when others support me in prayer. When praying hearts and minds are joined, the power of prayer is multiplied. My partners in prayer may be in the same room, or they may be far away. We may be close friends or even strangers. The power of prayer transcends what mere words can express, so we need not even speak the same language. We share the heart's language of love and faith. Although the appearance of sickness, a perception of lack or insufficiency, or interpersonal discord may have prompted us to pray, we set those concerns aside as we say yes to wholeness, abundance, and harmonizing love that are blessings in our lives and in every life. From Matthew 18:19. Again, truly I tell you, if two of you agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. And so it is. Namaste.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with my heart. I will be tender with my heart. And I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. I will be easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. And I love myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. Now I know I gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I rock myself like a newborn baby child. And I hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I love myself like a newborn baby child.
And we'll be gentle with ourselves. So many times life calls us to slow down and just be gentle and love ourselves as we would love a newborn baby child. So this time in our service is a time to go within. It's our meditation time, to connect with the source of our being, to listen. So I invite you to take a gentle breath, easy, gentle. There's no need to rush anything. Just to be here in the now. Breathing in peace. Breathing out everything that is not. Gentle, loving, peaceful breath. And if it feels okay with you, I invite you to gently close your eyes. To shut out all the distractions around us and just begin to make the journey to our sacred heart. I invite you to place your hands over your heart if you wish. And bring your awareness to the breath. See how it moves your chest, your palms with each breath. The vital force of life moves in and through us. Gently, gently, ever so gently. That breath that is in the spaces between our heart and our palms of our hands is life itself, divine life. Begging us to be gentle with ourselves, comforting us, reminding us that it is always here. And now, with your power of the imagination, see your heart as if it were a lotus flower. And watch, bring your awareness to the petals of this flower unfolding softly, gently, easily, releasing any worry or concern, releasing any sadness. Just loving beautiful petals, opening up your heart. Ever so softly, ever so beautifully and gracefully. And see in your mind's eye, in the center of this lotus flower that is now completely opened, a radiant white light. It is so beautiful, so perfect, for it is the essence of your true self. It is perfect love. And this light is moving beyond the petals to every little cell of your body. Everywhere is flowing with ease and with grace, touching those parts of us that need healing. Every little cell is being filled with this radiant, powerful, yet gentle, loving light. It doesn't rush. It lets things be. It just holds you. And I invite you now to consciously ask this light to go to where you feel you need it most. I will be easy with myself. I will allow this light of love to hold me and sustain me. I allow this light of love to heal me. And so as we return to the center of our heart, we know this light is always with us. It is who we are. It is that part of us that is divine and always one with God. And we rest. And we commit to be easy with ourselves, going only as fast as the slowest part of us can go. And now your petals that have released, that are gone, begin to once again wrap themselves around this light. And to remind you that you can come to your sacred heart at any time and ask the light to go to the spaces in your mind and in your body that needs its healing touch. So take a nice, cleansing, gentle breath with me. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste. That's that song. Remember that song? Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. So many times we struggle with just letting it be. I tell you, every weekend, Joe can attest to this, I kind of lock myself away and spend lots of time seeking guidance. What the Spirit want me to say? What was the message for this week? And it's my retreat, really. Most of you that know me know not to call me on a Friday or a Saturday because that's when I do my spirit work time. But this week, I had nothing. Nothing came, nothing. I'm telling you, no matter what I did, nothing flowed as it normally does. I prayed, I meditated, I listened, I journaled, I did everything I could, and nothing happened. And all I was doing is looking at the laptop screen aimlessly, hoping that something magically would start typing beyond me. And that was not happening. No pearls of wisdom were coming up into my mind at all. I was getting nowhere. And I knew that I needed to let it be. I knew just let it be loose. You know, I decided and I told Joe, okay, honey, I'm just going to leave the house for a little while. I need to pick up some items because I'm going to go to Unity Village in the week, and I'll be back. And so as I was driving back, I said, no, I'm not ready yet. So I said to Joe, hey, do you want to go to lunch with me? And he said, sure, pick me up. And time was ticking. You know, a little voice in your head that's telling you your time is running out. When in reality, we know time is eternal. But I couldn't, nothing was coming. So we went out and we had lunch and we chatted. And then I came home and I tied up a few things here and there. And then I took a nap. You would think that I would go back, but no. I decided I will be gentle with myself. I will go only as fast as my slowest part of me can go. And so I went to sleep. I just let it be. And nothing to force, nothing to do, just be. And so I woke up kind of a little bit late, because I was really emotionally and physically drained from everything that had happened during the week, starting from last Friday till today. I just didn't realize how very exhausted I was. So a good nap. After that nap, I say, wow, this feels good. Let me go back to my laptop, open it up, and again, nada. Oh man, I just cannot really get anything. And then I heard, as if a whisper in my ear from Spirit saying, tell the story. Just tell the story, Luz. It doesn't have to have any fancy fanfare. And I realized that, wow, that is so true. When we tell the story, when we tell it with vulnerability and authenticity, oh my God, it is probably the bravest thing that we will ever do and the most powerful healing medicine. It is what connects us and lets us know that we are not alone. My story can be part of your story. And it is in a way, because, we are one. We are one. So I ask you to bear with me as I tell the story. And it is my prayer that it will be a gift for you, that you will, in my sharing, know that you're not alone. You're not. The face of God shows up in each and every one of us in so many ways. So many of us in the world are tormented with this insane idea that we're separate, disconnected beings having to bear the burden of the world on our shoulders. We feel that, or they feel that. And sometimes ministers have the hardest time being vulnerable and open and transparent. Because what happens is that they refrain from sharing because they think that if you're genuinely honest, they will, and tell them that you are afraid, that you are sad, that you are lonely, that you're confused, that they will judge you. So many of my colleagues have shared that they just don't share. But that's not going to be me. That will never be me. I will be as vulnerable and as transparent as I can ever be. I will show you my perfect imperfections. And I will tenderly ask you to walk alongside me as we embrace each other's humanity, walking towards our divinity. You see, we are all, let's see if I get this, we are all just walking each other home. That's what we're doing. And many times in that journey, we just need someone to lift us up, not judge us, but to embrace us. We're just all walking each other home. So last Friday, Joe and I got on a plane to go to New York to celebrate our granddaughter's accomplishments in obtaining her bachelor's degree in fine arts. And I could tell you, tears of joy would not stop flowing from me. As I watched her walk through that stage and the smiles and the joy that she experienced was so uplifting. I was on a mountaintop. Flashback memories of when she was a little girl and kept coming into my mind. And I was so grateful that she said yes to come into this realm, because she came at a time when our world was very dark. Joe and I had lost our son, 10 years old, of leukemia. And I tell you, I remember as if it was today, looking into that little girl's eyes, a tiny little, sparkly little eyes, just a little spunky little kid. She wasn't even out in the world 10 minutes, and she was just checking it out. And I remember saying to her, "Have you seen Danny? Were you where Danny is?" There was a part of me that knew a truth that my ego mind had not yet conceived. A part of me that we come from this place that is love, and that we return to this place that is pure love. A perfect place. And so Melly, when she was little, with all her little innocence and her zest for life, Oh my goodness. I could tell you stories about her. I would lie down in bed, Joe and I, because she would not sleep by herself. No way, no how. And there were many times she would tell Joe he had to leave to the guest room so that she could be more comfortable. But she would wake up in the morning and we knew she was looking at us. You know, we had to keep our eyes closed because we were tired. And, you know, it's hard when it's a little toddler running around. But she was there, you know, her little head propped in her hand and waiting for us to open our eyes. And the moment that we would do that, she would say, "The sun is up. What are we doing? The sun is up." I love this girl with all of my heart. This is her with me and Champus. Our grandchildren call Joe Champus. But this is my precious little Mel, a grown woman with a journey to go. God knows what many adventures she will face and what she will do with her life. But wherever she goes and whatever she does, she will always live in my heart. Emily Cady said that the circumstances in our lives that seem heartbreaking will turn to joy before your very eyes if you will steadfastly refuse to see anything but God in them. What a beautiful quote. Beautiful. If we can keep our eyes on the mark, focused gently with ourselves, then joy will come in the morning. The day after Mellie's graduation, there was going to be this big party. Everybody was talking about the party. And then my other granddaughter, who's 12, decided that she wanted a new dress. So we went shopping. My goodness, quite a fashionista, that one. She tried on so many clothes, and then she had me trying on clothes. And I mean, we were just having such a really good time when Joe called and said, "Honey, something happened in in Florida. John Coco, and you know him. And those of you that don't, you a beloved congregant in this community and one of Joe's closest friends." He said that John Coco had been airlifted to a hospital in Hudson. He had suffered a brain aneurysm and was in surgery. I couldn't believe it. My heart sank. I just couldn't believe it. I went from here to this amazing, wonderful experience down to a depth of confusion and worry and fear and what's going to happen. I just couldn't process what he had said to me. So we rushed home, and I called Helen. "Thank you, Pat, so very much. What a beautiful face of God you are." So I called Helen, and she shared some details, and we prayed together. And I said to myself, I can't be there and be here, so I'm going to have to let it be. Just let it be loose. Move with where you are. God is where John is, where Helen is, and God is right here where I am. Just let it be. And there was no time to pause. There was just no time to pause. No time to find an anchor, to hold on to in this tempest that was happening, a whirlwind of emotions that I'm sure Helen was experiencing too. We talked this morning, she and I, about whether I could share this. And she said yes, she wanted me to. There was so much sadness and worry and fear. And I remember just quietly praying in the car because all my grandkids were so excited. They're going to a party. They didn't know. And I said, in my weakness, you are strong. In my weakness, you are strong. God give us the strength to get through this day. Because the day was a beautiful day. There was no humidity. The sun was out. There was so much joy when we arrived at that celebration. So much joy. So many people gathered. And beneath all that joy was this flood of sadness and concern. The following day, on Monday, I called Helen again for an update. Because you see, I had a dream. A dream that John had come to pick up Joe to go golfing. And in his usual self, he turned around and he says, don't forget to call Helen. So I got up and I called Helen. And Helen had received news from the hospital at that point that John had transitioned. I was in disbelief. And my inner critic, oh my God, you know that voice within inside of you, that inner critic that's wanting answers all the time. I was like, what? In my mind, why? What? When? How? Who told you? This is all the stuff that's going on in my mind. Even, you should have been there. You should have left. Oh, you know, there's so many lessons that we learn on our journey, don't we? And so I was learning that this egoic self only has this need to satisfy itself. It has to be in charge. It has to have control. It doesn't know how to let it be, how to let it go, and trust that the presence that holds the whole universe together is right here where we are. And before I went upstairs to share with Joe, I paused. We were just, I just paused. And I grounded myself enough to be able to tell Joe. He was reading upstairs. And when I told him all that we could do was do what Pat is doing with Helen right now, is hold each other. No words. There was just no words after I said that phrase, that John had transitioned. We were trying to gather strength from the love that we had for each other and the love that we had for John and Helen. That's what we were doing in that embrace. There was nothing that needed to be said, nothing at all. Sometimes less is best, Annie says. No words. And we were leaving to go to the airport in just almost an hour, right? We had like an hour we had to get ready to go. And our hearts were heavy, And so our daughter came and she drove us to the airport and neither one of us wanted to talk. We just wanted to move gently, slowly, compassionately with one another. And the flight home was the worst flight of my life. It was the longest flight I have ever taken from New York to Florida. It normally takes 2.5 hours. It took 5.5 hours. Oh my gosh. And then we were so glad to get out of that plane. And when we walked out, there were people lying everywhere. So apparently a lot of flights had been canceled. But we were rushing down to get our luggage. We were ready to get out of there. It was late already. And we wanted to get our luggage and get home. We got to pick up the car. We got to drive home. And we were exhausted. And guess what? The conveyor belt where we were supposed to pick up the luggage was broken. Oh, gosh, more delays. My phone had died. I had to find an outlet to see, well, before Joe's phone died, we had to find an outlet. Where do we connect this outlet while this conveyor belt gets fixed and we can get our luggage and get out of here? Anyway, to make a long story short, we didn't get home till about 1 p.m. And I had received 1 a.m., sorry, yes, 1 a.m. And I had received a text that at that point, John was on life support, that he had not transitioned. But I couldn't call anyone or do anything. It was too late. I was exhausted. The following day, I had an opportunity, thanks to Helen, to visit the hospital. Leanne was there. Leanne has been an angel for Helen. I mean, angels show up in amazing ways. She's not here today because she is at a funeral of a close comrade of hers that she served with. But she did not leave Helen's sight until she went to do that, right, Helen? She was with her the whole time. And so when we got there, there was Leanne, there was Helen, and there was the family. And Joe and I were given an opportunity to visit with John. He was totally non-responsive at that point. We whispered a prayer in his ears, and we said goodbye. We talked to the family, and when I got home, I updated the board of trustees and the LUTs and the team members via an email to let them know what I now knew. And you know, sometimes when we're grieving, we don't know what to do. We try to pick up the normal pace of life. So the next day, guess what I did? Exhausted as I was, I came to work. I came to the office. I didn't know what to do. And I was tired, and I just couldn't get anything accomplished, nothing. I would look at the emails. I knew that I would have to respond, but I didn't. And if I did, I'm sorry to some of you, I was pretty curt, if that's the word. It's just that I don't know, there was a bundle of emotions going on. So I decided, this is useless, I'm going home. I need to be home with Joe. And so I came home, left early, and the following day, I left because I knew that was not the place I was supposed to be. And I had to let it be. Let the emails be, whatever needed to be done, just let it be. And I came home, and the very next day, I came back to church and attended the morning silent unity meditation and prayer service. And I wondered all the way as I was driving here, how in the world can I find the words that will bring comfort when I myself, I need comfort. I need support. I didn't know how to comfort. How do you comfort someone when you need comforting? So the answer is that you don't. You don't try to fix things. You don't try to control it. You don't try to do anything. You just let it be, and allow what wants to move through to us. Just let it be. I sat in that chair, and I just could not hold back the tears. I just could not. I was sad. There was deep sadness for John, for Helen, for Joe, for the children that were murdered in Uvalde, for the suffering of senseless killing. There was a whirl of pain, and I was just feeling that. And it was coming out, and it kept coming out, and I couldn't stop it. And how grateful I am that I'm part of a community, that I don't have to show a false face, that I can be who I am and allow my vulnerability to be seen, and to know that I will be loved through it, not judged. For me, it was as if a dam had broken and the floods of water that were containing such a long-held sadness came rushing through. That's how it felt. And I didn't try to keep it together. I chose not to. I allowed it to be. I didn't need to keep it together. I left early that day too. I guess I didn't do very much of anything this week, knowing that I needed again, that my place was to be with Joe, to make space for us to be gentle with ourselves. On Thursday morning, Joe received the news that John transitioned at 9 a.m., and he shared that with me. The family had chosen to disconnect him from life support. And at that point, before he transitioned, he had, the night before, they let Joe say goodbye. What a beautiful thing. And I was grateful for that. We all grieve so very differently. And it's so important to honor that and create the sacred space to allow ourselves and others to express their grief in their very own way, not to cover it up, not to hide it, not to do anything, but allow ourselves to grieve. You know, I thought about, should I talk about this? Yeah, duh. There's an elephant in the room. Let's talk about this. You know, in just 2 years since I've been minister here, we have lost 5 congregants have transitioned in a very short period of time. There was Bonnie Russo, Tom Carpenter, right? Rose Gould. My goodness, the names just don't all come at once. Mary Miller, yes. Connie Townsend, yes. You see how sometimes my brain goes into like a little fog, and that's okay. Be gentle with that. Thank you for helping me remember. So as a congregation, each one of those members had a little piece of my heart, had a little piece of your heart. And so of course we're going to grieve. But as a community, we're going to hold each other with compassion. We're going to be that face of God for each other. As we process this, as we move through this, there's an author of a book called, he's called Helwa, and the book is Secrets of Divine Love, a Spiritual Journey into the Heart of Islam. I love that book. And it says grief has a very holy purpose. Through our feelings of loss, we actualize true gratitude. When we begin to see the depth of our grief as reflecting the depth of love that we felt, the holes that a loved one's spirit once filled go from triggers of sadness to altars of gratitude. How lucky we are to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Many may not allow our grief. May we allow our grief for the loss of a loved one, whomever that loved one may be for you. When we allow our grief for the loss of a loved one, prevent us from being grateful for having that person in our lives for as long as we did. The French philosopher and Jesuit priest, his name, and I hope I pronounce it right, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, he said, "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." Take that in. We existed in the spiritual form before we were even born into this physical realm. And in the quietness of our lives, when we are still we can reconnect with that truth. This is not our home. This is the school where we've come to learn and remember who we are. And we do that through the experiences that show up. If you allow this truth to sink into your very fiber of your being, it will change the way that you think about the world and how to deal with the circumstances that come into your lives. You will understand your role in life and ultimately what life itself really is. Charles Fillmore said, the first step in the realization of life is always to know that God is life, abundant, omnipresent, eternal. And the second step is to make positive connection with God life by declaring oneness with it. Every little bit of life experiences is helping us to return to unconditional love, to practice unending forgiveness, to be filled with compassion, and walk on this realm harmoniously with one another, feeling the peace that surpasses all understanding, and experiencing the joy of knowing that we are one and never, ever, nothing will separate us from the love of God. So I'm grateful to be the minister of this community that lives the vision and the mission, that we are here to create a loving, accepting, and healing community that would help transform lives. The lessons that we have learned have taught us to support one another, to move gently with our humanness as we embrace it and move towards our divinity. Never ceasing to remember, to honor that there is a divine spark in each of every one of us. The light in me honors the light in you. And look past the humanity that sometimes wants to convince us that we are not who we are, and see you as you truly are. If you have not learned this yet, there will be many experiences, trust me, that will give you the opportunity to learn it. Because each experience that we have is a lesson that's helping us learn to be a greater expression of that radiant truth that we truly are. We are learning that we don't have to fix it. We can allow it to be because it has come for our good. We don't have to judge it, control it, resist it, none of that. Just be gentle with yourself as you move through it. What comes will help us to grow in ways that will allow the radiance of our true self to really shine so much brighter. I am part of a unity family that I love very, very much. And I thank you for supporting me and Helen and each other through our frailties, through our falls, through the times when we're not showing up as the perfect self. And as we do that, what we're doing is we are creating the beloved community. That's what we're doing. We don't even know we are. Nietzsche, or Nachu, I'm not sure how you pronounce that name either, a French philosopher said, "In the mountains of truth, you never climb in vain. Either you reach a higher point today, or you exercise your strength in order to be able to climb higher tomorrow." So, Helen, we love you. We are your family, and we are here for you. And we are here for each other. And we will, in that process, we will build the beautiful, beloved community. And we will have those deeper connections that our soul longs for. I love you and bless you. Namaste.
I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. It is great. It is good. It is perfect. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. It is great. It is good. It is holy. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your mercy. Oh, your mercy. It is great. It is good. It is perfect. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. It is great. It is good. It is holy. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. And I know in my body you reside. And I know I am breathing in your light. And I know I am seeing through your eyes. And I know that your heart is beating mine. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. Oh, your love.
Always forget that. Thank you, Luz. That was heartfelt. And an enormous amount of personal sharing that most people don't do with others. And I thank you from my heart for that. So here we are again, time for our sharing of our tithe and our love offerings so that we can continue to do what Luz has called us to do as a community. And we are very much a loving community. So I ask you to take your offering in your hands and say with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send forth this gift with my blessings and my love. So let's just say a small prayer here. Divine Spirit, we thank you for this offering. We know it is given in love and received in love. And it moves throughout this ministry and throughout our community, doing the work of divine love. That each giver is blessed, for this is the law. And so it is. And so we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Now let us all affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you all for being with us today. And I know that Reverend Luz has some announcements for you. And so I say namaste and have a blessed day.
Mary, thank you, thank you. So one of the struggles that I had this week was deciding whether we should go ahead with the celebration of life on June 26th. And, you know, darn it, I went to open the folder where I had all my paperwork for it, and guess who was in there who insisted on singing on the day of celebration of life? And that was John Coco. So yes, we are going to have our celebration of life. Jubilee, yes, sorry, celebrating us. I'm sorry, I take that back. Celebrating us, Jubilee Sunday. Thank you, Annie. Thank you. So please, if you have not signed up, Wednesday is the absolute last deadline. There's just only a few open spots left. So call, if you're a member of this community, call so that we can get your lunch and can feed you. It's going to be really, really, really special. John's celebration of life will be not the Sunday of July, of the July 4th weekend, but the Sunday after. And that's still being worked out, and so when I have more details, I'll be able to tell you a little bit more. You know, our website and our Facebook page and the newsletter, Weekly Wake Up, and the big bulletin board has all kinds of announcements about what's happening in the community. So I'd like you to try to kind of take a peek at those so that I won't waste your time standing up here telling you all about it. Okay? So I will meet you in the lobby. Why don't you stand with me now and let us sing the peace song together.
Feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. I can